And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Friday, February 25th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome on a Friday morning. We're glad to have you with us. We are glad, of course, to be on the air for Wilson Bank and Trust. Jim Watley's with us this morning, financial advisor. Jim, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
How are you?
I'm very good. How are you, sir?
Fine. You've got your Wilson Bank and Trust shirt today.
Yes, sir.
Gray, medium, dark gray with Wilson Bank and Trust in red on the front.
Yes, sir.
That's your uniform of the day?
We're representing today. That's right.
Okay. Well, of course, when you're here, we talk about investments through Raymond James, which Wilson Bank, I guess we could even say, is almost famous for. You've been doing this for quite some time. And although you didn't start the program, you got in, I would say, on the ground floor and been going strong ever since.
Yep. I've been in the business approaching 35 years, but I have been with the bank since 1999. So this is my 22nd year with the bank. And bank's doing well. Investment program's doing very well. We now have 13 advisors spread out across all the branches and a full support staff as well. So, yes, sir.
Well, you were in the first two or three, weren't you? Were you the second one, actually? Or?
I guess I would be. There were a couple in between that kind of came and went, but when I got here, we did have Larry Squires and Veronica, at that time, Veronica Babcock. But yes, I was right there at that time.
Well, you've made it your home, your business home anyway.
One of the best things that ever happened to me was arrive at Wilson Bank. Yes,
glad
sir.
to hear that. I know you got some information for us this morning, and people get concerned from time to time. Things that happen in the world, and in particular right now, the Russian invasion of Ukraine is on everybody's mind to some extent, and you wonder what the repercussions are going to be. And you probably had some people asking you that.
We have. We've had a busy week, of course. People concerned about that, and of course, the markets had already started to have a pull down, prior to this issue with Ukraine. So we were already in kind of a correction mode. Folks do have to remember that we haven't had a correction of 10% or more since roughly 2019. So the last two and a half years. So we were kind of due some type of correction. Obviously, the invasion into the Ukraine kind of added fuel to that fire this week. But we do think overall, we have to remember that the reason we're investing is to try to beat inflation, the buying power of the dollars that we have today. What will they be worth in the future? And that's the whole basis behind investing, is to try to outpace the price of goods that we're buying. So we still see that as an issue, kind of in this low rate environment. We think it's important, and this, at the end of the day, this is probably a buying opportunity for anyone that's either not in the market or has additional cash on the sidelines.
Buy low, sell high.
Buy low, sell high, and
slow dance mower.
In terms of the issues with Russia, you got to ask yourself: does it really affect the profits of U.S. companies? And if you exclude energy, probably not. So we're still forecasting somewhere around 12 to 15% growth for 2022 in profits, and that should line up pretty well, especially after this correction, to have the S&P a little higher by year end. So we're still sticking with our forecast that we would see somewhere between 8 to 10% growth in the S&P for 2022, and that's starting from the first, not starting from where we're at here.
All right. You are located in the Mount Juliet area, right?
Yes, sir.
Which bank do you call home?
So there's actually three advisors. My team there in Mount Juliet now consists of Justin Doris and Ann Weiler, as well as myself. And we're there in the main Mount Juliet branch, kind of on the corner of Old Lebanon Dirt Road and North Mount Juliet Road. We do cover all of those Mount Juliet branches, including Gladeville. So we obviously will go to any of those branches to meet with folks if that's what's needed.
Well, if there's somebody who is new to this, wants to get started, I guess you can start at almost any age. But if you're a young person, even in their 30s, is young to me. And if you haven't, now is a good time to start.
I think it is, and we are seeing record amounts of cash still on the sidelines that is not invested. You're not getting paid for deposits that you have in the banks in terms of the interest rates that are offered. So we do feel like it's a good time, if you're not already invested, to put your cash to work. And it wouldn't take much to beat the bank rates at this point.
And it doesn't cost anything to find out, to call and make an appointment, have a visit, and get some advice, right?
Absolutely. We're there for anybody that wants to come in and kind of learn about their options. We are a fully independent firm through Raymond James Financial, so we have access to pretty much any investment that's registered and that you should own that's out there. So absolutely happy to talk to folks.
We always appreciate your visit, and since we are talking about investments and there is the opportunity to lose money as well as make it, we better do a little disclaimer here.
Yep. Obviously, we're in the bank. We just want to stress that most of the investments are not FDIC insured. You do have possible loss of principal, give or take the risk taken.
Jim, it's always good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Coleman.
Jim Watley, financial advisor, Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. They're still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987. All right, it is 10 minutes after the hour, and here on a Friday, it's time for our Friday Senate report, and here he is, Senator Mark Bodie.
Good morning, Coleman. And Coleman, you beat me in here today. That doesn't happen often. I usually want to try and get in and say hey to MJ and Billy and such, and you beat me in.
Well, you had a problem.
I did. I usually try and bring some eggs in every time I come, but I dropped the eggs. So I might have brought some cracked eggs. I tried to rescue some, but my wife's listening, and she said, yep, that'd be Mark. Drop the eggs.
Oh, well, you got to crack them before you use them. Oh, what's it been like the Senate this week?
We had a really good bill, and a lot of times I'll complain about some of the things we're doing or not doing, but this was a good week for us. One of the things that has been going on since COVID had started and the vaccinations are coming out is what should we do with mandating vaccinations? And it's been through courts. Some people say we should mandate everybody to get them. The federal government had put out different rules saying that if you're an employer and you have 100 people or more, you have to do it. Or if you're in the healthcare industry, you have to do it. There's been a lot of discrepancies out there. And so as the courts are starting to settle these cases, it's getting more clarity here in Tennessee. And this week in Tennessee, we were able to say this, that no matter what, if you have a religious exemption, that you do not have to take a vaccination. It is your choice. Those that want it, they should have access to it and should be able to get it. But if you have a religious reason why you don't, you shouldn't have to take it. And if you got a medical excuse, so if your doctor says this is not right for you, and some of the reasons the doctors can actually put is you've got immunity, you've already had it, or whatever a doctor would say. If the doctor says you don't need that vaccination, then you don't have to go and get it. And an employer or a company can't mandate you, or the government can't mandate you.
Okay, now you said a religious exemption, also if a medical thing.
That's correct.
But
yes.
what if somebody doesn't have either one of them, but just doesn't want to be vaccinated?
That's called the right of conscience, and we did not get that passed. Okay, so it has to fall within those two parameters. But we put it this way. So even if it was CMS that was doing that, that would be for the federal government, Medicaid and such, and sometimes that they had rules saying that anybody doing some of these things, they had to have the vaccination if you're an employee working at hospital or whatever. Yeah. And we turned around and said it was going to be the Attorney General of the state of Tennessee that would take that lawsuit for you and file it, and you could get damages from it.
Well, so you're pleased with that?
I am. I'm glad that that's settled. I've had so many people call our office and saying, we're being forced to get this vaccination for whatever reason. We didn't want it. I've had many, many, many nurses that would call and say, we don't want this vaccination, and we still want our job, but we just don't want to work here. But because of CMS and reasons, they said we have to take it or we have to lose our job. And a lot of nurses actually left the nursing field to do something else or go other places rather than take the vaccination. So this should help alleviate some of those concerns.
Mm-hmm. Anything else that whetted your appetite, let's say.
Well, I got to tell you, one of the biggest things that just came out yesterday was the governor, and he announced, and he had the press conference and such, about the Basic Education Funding Program, otherwise known as the BEP. And he's worked on this for months and months to try and turn around and see what it is. And they've sent me the numbers of how it's going to affect both Lebanon Special School as well as Wilson County School. And I'm going to be very anxious to be talking to Scott Benson. And I've already had a conversation with Jeff Luttrell to just kind of compare what these numbers might be. Now, they're so fresh, we haven't even gotten them out to everybody, so I don't even know if everybody has them. But I'll announce them after the break, exactly what they are for our county.
Okay, that sounds great. And it is time for us to take a break. You're listening to our Friday Senate Report with Senator Mark Bodie here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford and the low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Looking at heavy and slow traffic on 24 east and westbound up by Harding Place. It's really busy, of course, coming inbound out of Rutherford County. 100 block of McGavick Pike. That's a crash with injuries over in Donaldson. Still moving right now on I-40 coming through Kingston Springs. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar is home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Check them out at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive right behind Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital and see for yourself. You should move here.
Are you thinking about buying a new home? Let A.G. & Johnson assist you with your new home search. From the first-time home buyer to the empty nester, we are experienced in all facets of the home buying process. We will be with you every step of the way. No matter if you are buying, selling, downsizing, or upsizing, we can assist you with your real estate needs. Call us at 615-444-0909 or find us online at agandjohnson.com or Facebook A.G. & Johnson Realty. A.G. & Johnson is your community's trusted realty and auction company.
It's tax time, and Cars Unlimited Tax Service is locally owned and has 33 years of experience in preparing taxes. They advance loans of up to $6,000. They're also an authorized IRS e-file provider. Call 615-449-2955 or stop by 1006 West Main Street in Lebanon. Cars Unlimited Tax Service stands ready to help you prepare your taxes.
Coleman and Company. It's Friday. We all kind of look forward to Friday and the weekend, I guess, most of us. But we got to get through Friday first. We're having a good time this morning.
That's exactly right. So, for those that have just tuned into Coleman, one of the things that he's done for many, many, many years, when he ends, this is Friday, so he will use an adjective that ends this Friday, like Fantastic Friday or something. You watch when he signs off. So I don't know what word you're going to use today.
Oh, you got it. That's it. Oh, I pretty much got it down. There's just 5 of them.
Okay.
One for each day.
One for each day.
Well, you've had I don't know whether you've had a fantastic week or not, but you've got some information for us. We've been waiting a good while for the governor to reveal this, and I know he's worked on it, and I don't know if there's the element of surprise or you wait for a particular right moment to present something. Why it had to be yesterday, but it was. So you got the information for us.
I do. And he has worked on it a long time, and he went across the state for enlisting tours and sent the commissioner around. There's been a lot of committees held on this, and it's not been relooked, or it was put in force in like 1992. It's made a few adjustments, but it's a really hard system right now. So we tried to make it a little bit easier. I don't know if we've totally successfully have done that or not. And it's going to go through committees. He can propose it, but we'll see what the committees actually will support. But here, if we look at, for example, in Lebanon Special School District, Lebanon has about 3,883 students. Now, I'm just getting the numbers from the state. Scott Benson would know the exact numbers and so forth. But if we look at that, that means that the basic amount of money that we're going to be paying is to Lebanon's school district would be $26,635,373. And that, I don't know if that's going to be a good number or not, but that's kind of what we're doing. It's about $6,860 per student.
Okay.
And that's the base that they're going to get. And then, depending on how many students would be, for example, economically disadvantaged or concentrated poverty, or there's different categories that they can say they might qualify for more money because these students are special. They might be English-only learners, or they might have issues that we got to work on. In this case, when we add up for what Lebanon would have, that would bring their total to about $34,311,635. So there would be substantially more money coming in. Now, if we look what they paid last year, this year they would be, or in 23, they would get more money. The local funding would stay at about $10,253,710, and that's going to stay stable for the next few years. And the idea was to try and put this to the student rather than to the district, so they can track how the money's being spent per student a little bit easier. And that was one of the, I don't want to say selling points, but that was one of the points the commissioner was making to say why we like this. In Lebanon, Wilson County, for Wilson County, the base would be about $134,864,325.95. And we look at that, that would be the base amount per student, for the students there are. And then we're going to be getting more money because some of the students would qualify for extra funding, extra needs, and so forth. So the total amount that the state would be paying to Wilson County schools would be $164,261,916. And I talked to Jeff Luttrell, briefly yesterday, and he said, "Mark, I'm not sure whether this is good or bad. We're going to have to really dive into the details," and he will, to say how is this going to affect our school systems and so forth. One of the things that it is going to do is it should keep the local funding stable for the next few years. We're trying to say that the local funding, in fact, this year they should be, or when this goes into effect, which would be in 23, there should be less money coming from the local school or from our county taxpayers to the school system to keep the funding the same.
Okay, yeah, all right.
So we'll watch this and see the numbers. Now, one of the things that's going to help Wilson County is this. They did say there's going to be an extra pool of money going in for fast-growing districts. And if you are a fast-growing district and you have 2% growth per year for 3 years, and that's going to be Wilson County, then we know we've got to build new schools, we need new buses, we need more money. And there's going to be a special pool of money set aside that the fast-growing districts will be able to draw on to help use it for capital improvements and so forth. If we need portables or whatever, there'll be extra money that way. So there was money set aside for Wilson County and other fast-growing districts in Middle Tennessee.
Well, if you will, tell us what you feel, what you like about this and what you dislike. And I think there's some of both.
There is. I was hoping for it to be a little bit simpler for all of us to be able to understand. For example, they have so many different categories, and there's going to be so many boxes different schools districts are going to have to check. One of them would be for sparse students, and that would be defined that if you have less than 25 students per square mile, then you will get a check in those students because they'll have higher cost to bus them in and so forth. There's just a lot of check marks that a school system's going to have to go through for each student to say, do you qualify for this? Do you qualify for that? So it wasn't quite as easy. We're not clear how this is going to affect charter schools. We're not clear. There's still a lot of things that we're not clear on, and we've got to actually get into the details to do it.
Well, no doubt, when you got, as they'll say, the bottom line, you got the figures here, and you see what's coming for Lebanon Special and for Wilson County, and the others saw for their particular areas. No doubt you talked a little bit. What was the general reaction? Is it positive? Is it totally positive? Is it pretty negative?
Well, I will tell you, for those that think that we should put more money into school systems, this is $1 billion per year that the state's making as a commitment. There's a lot of money that the state is going to be investing into education. Huge amount of money that we are now being tied up for that's going to make a big difference in our education. All the students here are going to be getting more money. Wilson County gets more money across the board. We'll get more money than we got before this went in place. So for those that say this is good, we want more money into education, it's going to happen. For those that wanted to be a much simpler and easier system, I don't know if we really got that easier system. It was hard enough to understand the BEP, and from what I'm seeing, that we've got a little bit of complication in this one as well.
What's your biggest concern here? The fact that we're obligating ourselves with this much more money for the future?
So I won't say, and if I just break away from the education part and go into what we're really looking at, my biggest concern at the state this point is we had a $42 billion budget that was presented to us a year ago in February, $42 billion. In this February, they're projecting a $52 billion budget. Coleman, I don't know how I can say that I would be a conservative if I'm saying that I'm going to okay a 25% increase in the state budget. 25% increase in government funding and government spending is wrong. And I don't like it, and I would vote against the current budget right now unless we can really do something to give some taxpayers back some of this money that we've overcollected. If we can do some things to put much more money into the rainy day fund, I am just not comfortable with obligating Tennessee at that kind of a budget rate from here going on.
Well, this amount going for education, are you? I mean, we're talking about really two different things here.
Yep.
A $52 billion overall budget. We're talking about, I don't know how much this is.
This is $1 billion right here. This is an extra $1 billion.
All right. But could you go along with this if there's some cuts made elsewhere where our budget is brought down from 52 to well, I don't know what, but say less than 50 billion.
All right. So would I be comfortable putting an extra $1 billion in education? I absolutely would be.
Okay.
As long as there's an accountability that we know that this money is, if we're investing this money, what is it that we're getting in return that's tangible? And if somebody says, well, we're just educating kids, what does that mean? Does that mean we're going to have a higher ACT score? Does it mean that we're doing something that we can say that we're making an improvement, or are we just throwing money at the education? And I'm more of an outcomes person than how much money we put in. I'm looking for what the outcome is that we're getting. If you can say, you know what, this is going to help our graduation rate. This helps our kids get better jobs. And we can show that in some way. I all for putting more money into programs like that. But if it just says we're going to put more money in because we think we need to, but we're not sure where or how it's going to have an effect, then I'm not so comfortable putting money in. One place that I really do want to put money in is where this says that we're going to be giving teacher raises. Mm-hmm. The very number one factor that I can see in education is high quality teachers can make a difference to our students. I think every single study that we've seen, that makes a difference. It also makes a difference that we can see that those kids, if you can't read on grade level at third grade, your trajectory goes down the rest of your school career. It is not near as good. And that is one of the key factors that I believe we can watch to say, what is the third grade reading rate? And we need to make sure that we're focused on helping our kids on level, it's grade level at third grade.
All right, what do you think the final outcome will be? At least at this point, as you've seen the reaction to your colleagues, you know where we stand, sort of, and the budget's got to get passed, and we'll go home in a couple of months. But what will the end product look like?
Well, I think there's going to be some changes made in here, a little bit more clarity. However, we've only had this, not even for 24 hours. So we've not even gotten to read the entire bill and all the details. And I've not even gotten to meet with the Department of Education yet. So we'll be going through it. I know, like I said, I got to reach out to all of our school superintendents. I want to talk to some of the school board members and so forth, people that are in the education field to say, what does this look like? And I've been very much open to, and I've talked more with Jeff Luttrow. I don't know, we've talked on a very regular basis, so I can be hearing what he's thinking and how he feels. And I want to see what the concerns that he has, and Scott Benson. They're both two great guys, and we're lucky to have them. I know we're losing Scott, but we're I'm sure they're going to pick somebody.
We've got him till the end of June. We got a minute left. What summarize the rest or anything else you want to tell us this morning? I think you hit on two big things. But.
Yes, absolutely. I will tell you that our committees are starting to close down. Transportation is going to be going into final calendar. I'm just shocked at how fast we're moving. I do want to shout out to my advisory board for February. They've met every single Thursday, and they've been so very helpful. We'll have a new advisory board coming up for March, but they make a huge, huge difference. But I do got to tell you, sometimes when we vote, and I can have 18 people in there, and they vote 9 want one way, 9 want the other. And I tell them, I said, now that's no help to me at all. You guys are just split right down the middle.
Yeah. Well, but it is a good cross section, I think, that you have.
Absolutely.
Most different groups are represented with what you have there. So you
Absolutely.
Get a good cross section review, let's
Yes,
say.
I do. Yes.
Well, thanks for being with us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Coleman.
Have a good one. Senator Mark Pody, our Friday Senate report. Stay with us for more here on FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, a large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. I'm looking at this crash on 65 southbound in Trinity Lane. It's just aggravating all that heavy traffic that's trying to get down through here. Again, the two left lanes are blocked at the moment. Hopefully they'll move it, but it's 65 southbound in Trinity Lane, still heavy on 24 westbound coming up through the Hickory Hollow area. Warmer weather is waiting for you at Pensacola Beach. Book your next getaway. Log on to PensacolaBeach.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Here comes the sun. Hey, Medina, here comes the sun. Spring is just around the corner.
Call us and we can come over and tell you what your home is worth in this market, and it's free.
Yes, free and no obligation. It's time to get ready for the spring buyers. Inventory is low. We have buyers who need listings.
Here comes the sun. And remember, don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoler at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team 443-3130.
It's all right. What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
It's finally Friday, and today's skies will be a mix of sun and clouds with highs climbing into the mid-40s. So you may want to grab a jacket as you head out the door. On Saturday, temperatures reach the mid-40s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. Let's look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
And good morning and welcome to part 2 of Coleman and Company. Here on a Friday morning, we have the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty. Miss Judy is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Medena's here.
Good morning.
And you want to say that a little louder?
Good morning.
That was pretty good. I thought Senator Pody was here for a minute, but he hadn't left the building. Well, we tell you every week, C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty. They're located at 1330 West Main in Lebanon. They're great people. You know that if you listen each week. How much enthusiasm they bring to the table here, and somebody answers the phone there 24 hours a day. They are people you can trust. And Medina, how are you this morning?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing just about right, and it's good to see you both, but we have somebody else here that you brought this morning.
Yes, we have a new agent in our office, and we're so happy to have her. She lives here in Lebanon, but she's been working as an agent in Nashville, and now she's going to come and work in Lebanon. So her name is Stephanie Meehan. And I'm going to let you interview her and talk to her, and I'm going to be quiet today and let her talk, okay?
All right. Stephanie, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
And welcome to our program. It is nice to have you with us, of course, and we do want to find out a little bit about you. So where did you grow up?
Lebanon, Illinois, funny enough, and I moved to Lebanon, Tennessee.
Lebanon, Illinois. What part of Illinois is Lebanon?
It's southern Illinois, St. Clair County, 40 miles east of St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, okay. Well, what brought you here?
I actually went to Tennessee State. I didn't finish. I did 3 years and decided I wanted to work more in accounting because I had a background in finance and economics. So I left there, and since then I had been doing accounting jobs. I moved back to Illinois, and I was working for a logistics company, and I was miserable. And miserable. I cried in my car every lunch break. That's how I spent it. So my then boyfriend, husband now at the time, we were doing long distance. He lives in Tennessee. And he called me up one day and he said, you know, you're a very people person. Why don't you take your hand in real estate? Have you ever thought about it? And I was like, no, but I'll look into it. And so I did. I ended up moving to Nashville to live with him. And we got me into real estate. I took my exam, passed it on my first try. And he actually let me sell the house.
How long ago was that?
Many years.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you're not a.
I'm not a spring chicken.
Okay. Hey, you said it better than I could. What is so now? Everybody likes to make a sale and to make money. I mean, that's if you're in sales, that's the whole idea. But there's more to it than that. And what is it about real estate that's really turned you on? Let's say.
I love the connections I get to make with people every day. And I also love the fact that people trust me. Like, a house is one of the biggest purchases you're going to make in your life. So the fact that people trust me to do that for them and negotiate on their behalf really excites me and generates me.
Well, we've been growing here. That's an understatement, and you certainly are aware of that. You're part of it all the time, I know. And it looks like I know it may have slowed down a little bit and then picked back up, but for the most part, we've been growing for quite some time. And is that, I guess that's been good for you.
Yes, and I think that's still going to be an upward trend as far as Middle Tennessee, Wilson County is concerned. And I'm excited to get out there and help and work, and I'm available anytime for people. Well,
one of the things I guess we didn't really establish, we got you to Nashville and to Lebanon and this sort of thing, but how did you get with these two ladies and C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty?
Well, I was working in Nashville as an agent, and I want to do business where I live because it only makes sense to know about your community. So I did my research. It's a great team. And Mike reached out to me, Mike Schultz, and we went from there.
Well, y'all, you think enough offer to bring her out here and do the commercial this morning. So
That's
how
right.
How long has this been? I'm going to ask you
Just
that.
a few weeks.
Yeah.
We've just got her license transferred just this past week. So she's ready to start. She's got her business cards ordered and everything. I think she's already got them. And
Yes.
she's ready to go. But she's full-time. She's not part-time. She's full-time and is available.
And you've been able to get along with these two okay so far?
Oh, yes. They've
What kind
been
of
great.
question was that?
Well, I'm trying to put it easy.
I think she's learned you got to have humor to work with us. You can't be straight-faced. You got to have fun.
One of the things about this time each Friday morning, you never know what any of us really are going to say. Have you picked up on her line about don't make a move without us?
Yes. I told them that every morning driving by the billboard, they have a billboard going on 40. I see it every morning, and I'm like, I know who you are. I was so excited to meet her.
Well, there's a lot of. I mean, you can sell houses, you can sell land, you can do a lot of different things in real estate. Is there one particular area here that you think would be your strong point that you're focusing on more than anything else?
The Hickory Ridge area, only because that's where I live and that's what I know. So,
yeah. Okay. Well, y'all are still.
Everything's booming. We're just still going, and of course, spring hasn't even happened yet. So it's really moving. And of course, they're saying those interest rates might tick up a little bit. So, if you've been on the fence, you need to get on it.
Well, Stephanie, we can identify with your last name. Spell that for me. Meehan.
Yes. M like Mary, E Echo, H Harold, A Alpha, N Nancy.
That's the accounting background.
All right. I guess it's time for us to wrap it up. Anything else?
Yes, we're just glad to have Stephanie. And if anybody's looking to sell or buy or want to just come out and get a free estimate, she's available to come and give you a free estimate of what your house would bring. And all you got to do is call our office and ask for Stephanie, and she'll come out and take good care of you.
All right. Well, I know you're going to, I can tell from just talking with you this morning, you're very dedicated, you're a hard worker, you're going to be out there where the rubber meets the road, as they say. So we wish you well, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. And as far as Miss Judy and Medina, good to see y'all, of course. And
Let Medina say anything. I'll be quiet.
Have a good week. You got anything else?
Just to tell you, don't make a move without us.
That's what I was waiting for. All right. Y'all have a good one. And,
have a good one.
And Stephanie Meehan, we wish you well, and maybe they'll let you come back one of these days.
Thank you.
All right. C&D team, exit Rocky Top Realty, 1330 West Main Street in Lebanon. And as Medina says, don't make a move without us. Okay. Today is the day that I would be talking with terrific Teresa from the Lebanon Senior Citizens Center, but due to circumstances beyond my control.
Anybody's control.
We've got Patty Watts here today, who's the director. Patty, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It's good to see you.
It is good to see you. It's good to be here.
We want to be nice to Teresa. She's here most of the time, but she's got a real problem, and one that's it's got to baffle her because she can't talk.
Yeah, for me, it probably wouldn't make a huge impact, but Teresa, she's definitely has the gift of gab. So, but she has some laryngitis.
Yeah, we played cornhole yesterday, and of course she does that when she's there. She takes care of the cornhole game and says what the score is after each throw and all of that. She couldn't do it at all yesterday.
No, and she had a handicap because her sidekick Tim Huffines was out yesterday. So
well, we missed Tim as well.
Yeah.
But she was there, but honestly, she could barely whisper. And that's when you told me yesterday you would be coming out here today. And
well, when Teresa, says, I don't think I can do it, it must be pretty bad because she's a tough bird. She pushes through. So.
Well, we've got the month of March to talk about, of course, and that's a lot of what she does. But Teresa brings us a lot of different information. And I have an idea that this morning you might want to talk about your successful fundraiser as we begin.
Well, like the name you gave that, successful. It was very successful, and I cannot say enough for Leadership Wilson. What they did, what Dory Mitchell has done with Leadership Wilson, I've never heard of anything so great and grand. I've had other friends that have passed through Leadership Wilson, and they've told me a little bit about it. But when I had that team come, it was Teresa's sister, Sherry Shedd, and she knew a lot about the senior center.
Yeah.
And then Lisa O'Gwen, her mom, came for years and years and years, Ruby Collins. And so they both had a love and a foundation for the senior center and what we did. And when they chose us to do their project, I was like relieved, excited. I was like, oh, they were a godsend. I mean, this year with everything, and yesterday, Shirley and I went through the numbers and made sure we had them all correct. I still have about $1,500 out, but when that $1,500 comes in, it looks like a profit of about $31,000, maybe closer to $32,000 profit, and that is over the top. That's
through this one fundraiser.
Through this one fundraiser.
Wow.
And I knew Lebanon had it in them. And everybody, I have got 2 pages full of names, and I don't know how I will go through them all. But like Mike Steplowski that was on there, and Kelly, and I can't pronounce her last name. She, helped with getting things together with, she just had a baby, Kelly Morano, I want to call her. Morency, Lisa O'Gwen, Sherry Shedd, Teresa Shelton, Catherine Simone, and Mike Steplowski. That team right there put together a silent auction that was incredible. But then everybody who came and participated, who bought tickets and was present, were being so generous.
Okay, those people that you just mentioned there, that's the Leadership Wilson team that adopted you.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. And I think the class is actually bigger, and then they break down in small groups, and each small group has a project.
Yeah. And so you were their project.
Yes, I was their project. I'm glad to be a project.
Yeah. Well, that sounds incredibly great to me. Nearly $32,000.
Yes.
How bad is this needed?
Oh, tremendously. We all know the price of everything is going up. And so that impacts seniors tremendously because, they were so excited to get a raise on their, Social Security benefits. But when you ask, how much was this tremendous raise that, everybody was talking about? Oh, $70, I'm getting $70 a month. I'm getting $62 a month more. That's not even a tank of gas anymore, So with the cost of inflation going up, the cost of groceries, gas, and everything that they do going up, fuel costs, my electric bill was higher than it's ever been. I've lived in that house for 15 years, and our electric bill was higher this past month than it's ever been. And I'm hearing that across the board.
Yeah, right.
So keeping our costs down is going to be the biggest challenge over the next couple of years. Letting them be able to afford to come. Some people say, $4 a day is nothing for lunch. But when you do 4 times 20 or 22 days in a month, you're looking at almost $100. And no, you can't go to the grocery store and buy groceries for that much money. But also, we know a lot of seniors who are living on a can of soup a day or just some peanut butter crackers, very minimal because they can't afford the groceries. And we see this with our own eyes. This is something that we're not hearing, we're seeing. During COVID, when we were going into the, community and visiting and taking care packages, they were so grateful.
Yeah.
So grateful. I needed this so bad. And when we help somebody, they just needed it so bad. Then you have, so many other costs that, go along with taking care of that person. The city stepped up this year. We didn't get the Weston Home Foundation grant. They want to try something new, but I had talked to Bernie Ash about it when I went to Rick Bell. And I said, this is it. And he said, yeah, absolutely. We're going to support that because a social service coordinator in our community is such an asset. She's able to go and visit and see the needs. We've been able to help people get hearing aids and glasses, understand their insurance when they get scammed. I got an email yesterday, I guess it was, and it was, Dear Patty, real personal. And it came from a personal person, like it wasn't just spam.
Wasn't me, was it?
No.
Well, some have gone out from me like that. Go ahead.
But no, just saying your student loan, and just, I was like, now they're invading my email. Yeah. It's not my text messages, my phone, and they get confused. And if they do have a bill, or if they get something from the IRS and it looks official, that looks so official. If I knew I had a student loan out there, I'd be like, oh, cool, I'm going to try this. And then you get sucked in.
You're able to help people avoid some of the problems.
Yes.
Because they're members and you've got somebody that looks after that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And can read their mail for them and decipher that.
Right.
So.
Well, and that's great, too. We're a little past time for a break. Let's do that right here. Patty Watts is with us, director for the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And at 7:48, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford and the Lifetime Brake Pad Guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns a vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They're trying to move this wreck with injuries right now on 65 southbound right at Trinity Lane. All it's doing is aggravating all that traffic that's trying to get down through there this time of the morning on 65 south. at Trinity Lane. Moving a wreck at Arnie Avenue and Kennedy, that's East Nashville. It's still busy, but it's moving on 24 coming past Harding Place. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar is home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Check them out at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
You have a vision. We have the financing to make it happen. At Wilson Bank and Trust, we have the resources that individuals, families, and businesses need to grow and achieve their goals. As an independent local community bank, we're able to provide loans with great rates, fast decision-making, and personal service from one of our local, friendly lenders. We believe in the power of possibility. It's why we say yes more often. Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After facing the strongest non-conference schedule in the nation, the Cumberland University Phoenix baseball team opens Mid-South Conference play February 25th and 26th against the Thomas More University Saints in Crestview Hills, Kentucky. You can hear all the action on either WANT-FM 98.9, WCOR 1490 AM, WANTFM.com, or GoCumberlandAthletics.com. Go Phoenix!
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Bador Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Our final segment here on this Friday morning. Patty Watts is with us. Terrific Teresa, that's what we've given her that nickname. Teresa Watts, who is, comes here most last Fridays in the month, talks about what's happening in the next month and brings us up to date. And if you joined us late, she has a problem with laryngitis and can't talk. Have you talked with her this morning at all?
No, I haven't spoken with her this morning.
I hope she's better, but
Yeah.
she couldn't. We did play cornhole yesterday, and she took care of that, but she couldn't talk. She had to have somebody to talk for her.
Right. Years ago, she used to have a problem, and I guess she went to Dr. Tate, and he said, you just need to rest your vocal cords. So while we were closed for that 13 months, her vocal cords healed and everything was fine. She didn't have a bout. But when you're talking all the time and calling bingo and exercise and having to really, get your voice out there, it puts a strain on your larynx.
And in her job, she does talk a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Okay.
maybe at home they might say that too, and I don't think home's a job. So.
Well, we have a wonderful senior citizen center here that you've been to. How long have you been director, by the way?
12 years now.
Oh boy, time flies.
It does.
But a great fundraiser that we've already talked about, and I think $32,000 is just isn't that more than you've
By far.
ever done before?
Yes, by far.
Okay. So you're going to put that to good use.
Yes, we will.
But part of the good use is the activities that take place throughout the month, and there's a lot that goes on from month to month. Teresa's the activities director, but the two of you work together and coordinate things. And of course, there's lunch there every day, and we went through some different times with COVID and so on. It's not totally back to normal, but it's pretty close.
Well, it's kind of a modified. I think it's our normal now.
Okay.
A lot of people aren't comfortable coming in still for congregate meals, and so we have curbside. But that was a huge hit. And a lot of people who just never got lunch with us, they went somewhere else. They're coming through getting lunch with us, so it's just like a little drive-through. It's different every day. You don't really have a choice, but it's a good meal for the price.
Oh, for $4, I don't know where you can beat it. And you managed to hold on to that. It hadn't been too long ago, but 2 or 3 years ago, I guess, when you went from 3 to 4.
Right. Well, back when Wallace was the director, because I've been there 18 years, we started out, we were at $2.50, and it took everything we could to get it to $3, because it just broke our heart to take it to $3.
Yeah.
And then it stayed at $3 for a long, long time. And then it was a couple of years ago, we went to $4. And we were seeing a deficit. We were about $10,000 upside down. So Fridays, and some meals are more expensive than others to prepare. Today we have breakfast for lunch, and that's a more expensive. Everybody's bought bacon at the store. Everybody knows, and then you have gravy, and you have bacon, and you have sausage, and you have hash brown casserole. Hash brown casserole isn't mashed potatoes because you have all the the soup and the cheese and the onions. There's a lot that goes into there that, makes the cost of that meal just a little bit more when you look at it. And
so you do, it's a
$5
$5 meal on Friday.
$5
Right.
Fridays. And we do try to put our more expensive meals on Friday to kind of offset that.
Okay, you've got the schedule there for next
do.
month, and I don't know. I always
I can't go through it like Teresa does.
Well, first thing I look at is when we're going to play cornhole.
When are we going to play cornhole? We played yesterday, Coleman,
That's
so
right.
it's going to be a couple of weeks, but I
It's
think
next-
she's added it twice.
Next Thursday, on a Monday, and another Thursday. I've already.
Okay, Thursday the 3rd, and then it looks like Monday the 14th. Hey, guess what's coming?
And you got one more.
Oh, we do have one more? Yeah, on the 24th.
All right, that's a
3
Thursday.
next
Yep,
month.
yep.
Man, it went from 1 to 2 and now 3. You guys love you some cornhole.
Yeah, we had a good time yesterday.
Yeah, I hear that you didn't win, but that's okay.
I won one first game.
Okay. Oh, well, good, because I know who you beat. Good deal.
Oh, what were you about to say there?
Spring. It says hello, spring. Right
Oh.
here in the middle of March. There's promise yet that it's going to warm up.
Well, it's one of the things, of course, you do, and you mentioned Wallace. I guess he started the birthday party years ago. I went to one time, and he goes around to everybody whose birthday is in that month, and they tell. Do you still do that?
Well, when we opened back up for COVID, we did until we closed. And then
Okay.
when we opened back up, now you're sharing a microphone and you're in somebody's face and you're passing a microphone to person to person to person to person. We didn't think that was real, diligent of us to, do that.
Well,
so
anyway, I was amused.
Diligence
Hear a lot
not
of
the
funny
right word,
stories. Hear a lot of funny stories.
you hear a lot of funny stories. The one, the little, what's her name? She smiled all the time. I think we called her Smiley. Giggles.
Oh.
We called her Giggles. She talks about being born in a slop jar.
Oh, no.
She tell it every year,
Oh.
and every year it always got funny. You used to say, who was born at home, and one thing we have seen over the years, just about everybody raised their hand. Who was born at home, and now it's just fewer and fewer. 18 years has gone by, so that's a whole generation almost.
Well, bingo is one of the things that so many people seem
They
to
love
just
bingo.
love. And you have had over the years, you've had people who come up with prizes who make it even, I think they would play if there wasn't even any prize involved, but the prize makes it a little bit...
It does make a difference because some home health agencies, they have they're kind of mandated by government laws what they can give and can't give.
Right.
Then you take a bank or a real estate agent who doesn't have the same regulations as somebody who works with Medicare or Medicaid. So the people kind of know. So I think the prizes do matter because some bingos are a whole lot bigger than other bingos.
But they love to play and they love even more to win.
Yes, they do. And you'll hear them say, I haven't won. I haven't won.
Well, I'm not a fan of bingo, but I don't knock anybody that is. Okay,
right?
I don't know how many times it's you don't go by a week without having a bingo game, do you?
No, we'll have a couple a week. Yeah, at least 2 a week.
Yeah. And some people, it's usually at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, isn't it?
It's always at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, unless there's like the Thanksgiving lunch and we have to make it later because of the crowd or anything like that. So.
Well, the membership is still $25 a year.
$25 a year, and we're getting so close to, our new year is July the 1st. So if you have never been a member before, not that you haven't renewed your membership in a couple of years, but if you are truly new to the area and you've never been a member, we would welcome you to come in and join, and we'll just give you the $12.50. We're past the half year, a couple of months. Try it out for a couple of months. See if you like it. And $12.50, it's not going to, impact everybody. Believe it or not, it impacts some. But we never let money get in the way of a membership. If somebody comes in and they can't afford it, we have people who are more generous during sign-up time, and they always give scholarship monies for those who can't afford it. We never want money to turn anybody away from what we do, because social isolation and being alone and feeling hopeless is the last thing we want for people who have given so much of their time and their energy to build this country. And we want to make sure that they're taken care of, because I think that the senior citizens are are and will always be our greatest generation.
Well, you do have people too who, in fact, there's somebody makes some donations every month in that
Yes.
newsletter that you send. I think you have some who are almost perpetual donors.
We have people who are signed up now for PayPal, or they put it into their bill pay, and automatically we get a donation from them monthly. It's almost like a tithe. You know, they give to the church every month, then they give us a little bit every month. And that is wonderful. You know, I've said 1,000 times, if everybody gave us $5 a month, we wouldn't hurt or want for anything. We wouldn't have to worry about anything. Joanne Ramey was faithful. She never had a lot of money. I don't know how much she has. I don't know what, but she always gave me a $5 bill at the first of every month. And you know, that if we have 1,000 members and 1,000 members gave me $5 a month, I wouldn't even have to charge membership fee.
Yeah, you're pretty good with the math.
Yeah.
We've got about 30 seconds here to close it out this morning.
Is that it? Is it 8 o'clock? Where's the time gone?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, you're such a good conversationalist.
Well, it's you. I don't think you're going anywhere. You enjoy what you're doing.
No, I'm not going anywhere. I enjoy what I'm doing. And, you know, I mean,
thankfully, the city of Lebanon has been an important part
Yes.
of keeping the senior citizen open and,
Yes.
and so on. So,
yep. And I talked with Randall Hutto the other day, and we're trying to figure out a way, you know, maybe to get some county, because when he came in to call Bingo Friday, and I asked the crowd, I said, how many of you are Wilson County? And just about, you know, over half raised their hand that didn't live in the city. The city's been very generous, and the county's been generous, but hopefully we'll be able to work something out with the county, and we just want to keep it going. And everybody knows it takes money to keep something going.
and inflation plays its part
It
too, as we've
does.
already alluded to. Patty, good to see you. Thanks for all you do, and glad you could come out this morning.
Thank you, Coleman.
All right. Patty Watts, Director for the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. And that's it for Friday. Have a nice weekend. Until Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.